But let's jump into Delphox here. We got Delphox. The moves I think we're going to see is, of course, Mystical Fire. Psychic. We might see some variation of a Psychic move, but I think Psychic is just the most obvious. It's going to be the Tera Fairy, so we're going to see the Dazzling Gleam. And for the last move, I think it's going to have more than one like secondary move. But honestly, I don't know about Grass Knot because it's not going to be a fire type. Low Kick might be possible, but I think what we'll have the most chance of seeing is Focus Blast, or Focus Miss, as VGC players know it. So it's going to be Tera Fairy, and it's definitely going to be Modest. So for secondary moves, Overheat might be like a turn 1 move. I don't know if we see Nasty Plot or Calm Mind. I think Calm Mind is kind of more on the range of Delphox, not Nightshade. We might see the screens, but I don't think, like, unless they did like a turn 0, like double setup screens. Confuse Ray. Confuse Ray might be one of those things where it does it on like a shield break. Or we might see Nasty Plot. This isn't going to be as in-depth as I usually do it. I'm super behind on this. But my first thought here was 2 Pokemon. Overquill and Houndoom. Now hear me out. I do have a Houndoom set before, but with Overquill, you're immune to the Psychic. You are immune to, you resist, like it's neutral on the Fairy, and you don't really have to worry about fire too much. What Houndoom, it's even better. You resist like you're neutral on the Fairy because fire resisted and dark is weak to it. You are immune to the Psychic, and with Flash Fire, you're immune to the fire moves. So let's see, do I have my Houndoom in here? It was the Houndoom for, I want to check, I gotta check the EVs. But I think with this, we might need a little more special defense. But that could just be one of those things where we just change the nature. That could just be a problem that's solved with minting. So we need special defense and attack minus attack. So we need a calm. But right now we're gonna stick with the Modest and see how it goes. Mud Slap isn't gonna be worthwhile. Okay, so we got some Sorrel Edges. Sorrel Edge has Clear Smog. I was think like that did come to mind. Does Overquill get Clear Smog? It does not. Does it get Acid Spray? It does get Acid Spray. But that's not what I had in mind for the Overquill. We need a move to replace Mud Slap, though. If it's screens, Psychic Fangs, and I don't think we go Terra Dark. I think like maybe tweak it to Terra Steel. So Psychic Fangs are Terra Blast. So just like Snarl and Dark Pulse. We really don't need Dark Pulse, but the Nasty Plot is good here. What are the odds of screens? Like if there's no screens, 100% Terra Blast. If there is screens, then Psychic Fang and then maybe instead of Dark Pulse, go Terra Blast. For Overquill, I was thinking, I want to say Gunk Shot, but do we want to deal with the 80% accuracy? I saw that it gets Smart Strike, so I think Smart Strike would be really good here. And then Sword Stance. And then for the last move, you could go Bar Barrage if you want to double down on like the poison status. You could go Acid Spray if you want to be supportive. I think Liquidation wouldn't be too bad. I just don't know on the Terra. The Tera is what I'm wondering about. So and I was thinking like maybe AV, because it has a decent attack. Like we really don't need much into it. Let's go Adamant for now, and we'll check like calcs and stuff. Sorrel Edge would be a good one. I think for Sorrel Edge, you could go. You'd probably also want to do the Terra Steel. I think Shell Bell would be good. That way you don't have to depend on Bitter Blade. And because of Flash Fire, you're not worried about Mystical Fire, and you're a physical attacker. The only thing we have to worry about with all of these mons, especially if we're on Terra Steel, is that Focus Blast. So Iron Head, Bitter Blade, Swords Dance, and then Clear Smog. See, these are, like, besides Houndoom, like, both of these guys are physical attackers, and I'm usually not a fan of physical attackers in raids. I mean, let's see. I think with Sorrel Edge, we could go to the first bump. Or the last bump. And the other thing is, these are all level 100s. Let's see. 206, 226, 206, 244. Like, even if it's, like, at modest, it's faster. So, preferably, maybe, like, a way to slow it down. What other dark poison types do we have? You could go Dark Psychic and... Well, no, you don't have the Fairy Resist then. Dark Steel, but, Fire destroys you. Weak to Fairy, weak to Fairy, weak to Fairy. I want to say Dark Fire, Dark Water. There's Muck. Muck's got solid special defense and really good HP. There's the Overquill. We already have the Houndoom. Skunk Tank, Alolan Persian, but like then there's no extra typing. And it's special defense and HP are so bad. Oh, now we're in Little Cup. So Skunk Tank and Alolan Muck. I don't think anything else really works. I do think it wouldn't be as good as Sorrel Edge, but I do think Armorogue could be good here. Armorogue gets Acid Spray, and it also gets like this Light Screen. You could use this solely as a support mon. It does get Flash Cannon. Do we have a way to boost it though? I mean, the Acid Spray would technically boost it. Let's just do the same thing we did with Sorrel Edge and just go to the first bump. So that'd be 40. And then we can adjust it. And this one would be Modest instead. I was just like, oh, Poison type, I can just use Clodsire, but like Psychic would destroy the Clodsire. What item would we have? I honestly just think Leftovers would be fine. And we want the Flash Fire, so we don't have to worry about the Mystical Fire. And then the same thing, like we just go Terra Steel. Overquill, I'd go Shell Bell. What does Stench do? Give a 10% chance to flinch. Do Terra Mons flinch? Does anyone know? Do they actually flinch? I feel like they don't. Acid Spray, of course. Is there a way to boost it? Do you get Nasty Plot? You do get Nasty Plot. But I feel like Nasty Plot is kind of redundant on Acid Spray mons. Haze, but that also eliminates the negative stat changes. What Steel moves does it get? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't know why I thought it would. Could do Helping Hand, but I feel like... What's a Dark type? Does it get Snarl? It does get Snarl. What do we do for the last move? What do you guys think? I think just Taunt. Like, unless it gets Recovery, I'd just go Leftovers. Well, let's do... What is it? Calm? Yeah, Calm. Let's go to the bump. Where's the bump? 216. The bump is not there for... Where's that bump? Come on. Oh, wow. That's really high. I feel like there should be another bump lower. But if we're getting, like, acid sprays off, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And then I don't know which one ultimately. I might just go with the Houndoom, because I already have it built. But I do think, like, physical-wise, like, I do think Overquill would be a decent option. But let's take a look. Delphox blank, level 100, Tera Fairy, and then we would do Modest. I definitely think it's going to be Modest. For the moves, Mystical Fire. What was it? Psychic. Gleam. And then Focus Blast is our main concern. So let's check the Overquill first. What's its other abilities? I know Intimidate's one of the... Oh, Intimidate and Swift Swim. So yeah, we might as well go with Poison Point. 7S Del. Ooh. No, let's just get these all in the calcs now. So the one thing I don't like about Clear Smog is that it kind of conflicts with the acid spray strategy that we've been using so much in Terra raids. Because if you're hitting it with a Clear Smog, then it's losing those special defense drops, and you got to start acid spraying again. Okay, let's start with Overquill. We want to make you level 100. See, the Focus Blast does a lot. The Mystical Fire does a lot, which is why I thought, like, what if we go Terra Water? How does that change the calcs? Oh, Terra. I feel like that makes things worse. What if we go Terra Dark? That just doubles all the things we don't want to double. So I think, honestly, for all these mons, like, Terra Steel is going to be the best. Mystical Fire still does a lot. Because this doesn't have Flash Fire. Maybe Overquill is not the mon. I honestly think Terra Water is the best mid ground, especially if you have the liquidation. Like, Terra Water is the best mid ground. So as long as it doesn't boost, everything is a 4-hit KO besides Focus Blast. And that's not factoring in that we'll be hitting second with, like, the Shell Bell, unless it's slowed down. So if we get the Swords Dance and we get to +2, we're doing 800 to 900 damage. Smart Strike does 300. Okay, if we Terra Liquidation is doing like 102 to 126. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not good. Does Houndoom fare much better? So we don't take anything from Mystical Fire. We don't take anything from Psychic. Dazzling Gleam's 30%. Focus Blast is a 2-hit KO. And that's not even, like, and it's the same with if we Terra. What if we change... I feel like you need Snarl. You need Snarl no matter what. Like, I think your team, like, has to have Snarl. Because even at -2, whether we Terra or not, Focus Blast is, like, probably a 3-hit KO. So right now, I kind of like this over... And what if we go... So what if we go the Calm? We don't do as much damage offensively, but we take Dazzling Gleams a whole lot better. Let's see, 222 through 262 versus 242. So it takes off like 20 to about 20 damage, 20 to 25. I built Hyacinth Gudra. Hyacinth Gudra, ooh. I'm assuming it's Tera Steel. I think honestly Tera Water might be good for Hyacinth Gudra. We'll come back to the Gudra. Yeah, like if you go Tera Poison, like Psychic starts destroying you. At least Focus Blast. Focus Blast is not like original type stab. Like, but Psychic is. So Psychic is going to do so much more damage. And like, here's the thing. Focus Blast has a 70% accuracy. In VGC, they refer to Focus Blast as Focus Miss. Because most of the time when you need it to hit, it's going to miss. It's like how people talk about Iron Bundle with Hydro Pump. So I'd feel more comfortable having worse calcs for a Focus Blast than I would a Psychic. Because a Psychic is always going to hit. You could get some good luck and have the Focus Blast miss. That is just so high though. But it takes like if it doesn't have Focus Blast, Houndoom is the go-to. But I feel like, see, I don't know. Because usually they use the other moves to cover like weaknesses of the Tera type. I guess Focus Blast would be for Steel, but then you have Mystical Fire. You have Mystical Fire. Okay, what was next? Cerulean Edge. Oh, Iron Head's already popping off. Even before you Tera. And until you Tera, you don't take damage. I think Tera Ghost. Because like if you Tera into Steel, Focus Blast does a whole lot. What if you stay a Ghost? You add a little bit more into Dazzling Gleam, but you stay immune to the Focus Blast. And like Iron Head is already doing so much damage compared to, like, say you get 2 Swords Dances off, you're hidden. And like I don't build raid mons to one shot, you know? Mystical Fire drops special attack, I believe. I just want to make sure I'm correct on this. Yeah, it lowers special attack by 1. So I might change some moves on my Houndoom. I have a Cerulean Edge, but it's a very generic Cerulean Edge, and I think it's Tera Steel. So I wouldn't be mad about fixing it, in all honesty. Now let's look at Armor because Armor is kind of what I have in mind for like the support. Oh, it doesn't take much of anything. And if we get the light screen up, oh, Armor is pretty solid. I mean, it doesn't have any way to boost. That's the only thing that's bad about Armor, but it does have Acid Spray. So even if you are like, yeah, once again, I think Tera Ghost would be better than Tera Steel. That increases the Psychic and Dazzling Gleam calcs. But if you keep your light screen up, I feel like it's manageable. Especially with leftovers. Gengar could be good, but like I feel like, yeah, like, so look at its bulk compared to Cerulean Edge. So like it has 60 HP, 60 defense, 75 special defense. Where like Cerulean Edge has a lot more bulk for a attack wise, a 5 attack difference. Not to mention, does Gengar get access to steel moves? Like, it has poison moves, I know that. Not to mention, like, you don't, like, as a poison type, you're still going to take super effective damage from Psychic. Right? Ghost resist, so it should be neutral. But still, like, a neutral Psychic from Delphox probably hits pretty hard. I haven't looked at the Hisuian Goodra yet. I was checking, like, just a quick look at the calcs on the other stuff. What about Skuntank? Once again, like, Focus Blast still doing a large. Oh, well. Actually, 20% isn't bad. Compared to all the other mons we've looked at for Focus Blast, like, that's not bad. And if you get it down to like -2, Sludge Bombs be hidden. But what, that's the thing, like, what is it hitting with Shadow Ball that it needs to hit? Because it's not going to hit dark types. It's not going to hit poison types. Maybe like neutral damage on steel types, but then again, once again, like when it comes, like if you're facing a steel type mon, Shadow Ball versus Focus Blast, like Focus Blast is probably better damage wise. Bronzong has bulk, but yeah, I feel like, I mean, you could try body press stuff with the Bronzong, but I feel like the time it would take you to click Iron Defense 3 times, like, you're gonna get one hit and then it's gonna like clear your stats. Unless you have like these mons around you, like if you have a Skuntank and an Armorogue setting up screens, like, yeah. And also you could go heat proof, like, because most VGC like Bronzongs are like levitate, but you could go heat proof on the Bronzong and be Gucci. I think where this Goodra benefits is that it has stab flash cannon. You'd want life dew. Does it have a setup move? Curse, but that doesn't benefit special attack. See, that's the thing about Goodra. Goodra really doesn't have like setup moves. Oh, well, it's Goodra, so you could go Acid Spray. And what else do you need? Like, honestly, like, what else do you need? Oh, Contact. I was about to say, with Hisuian Goodra, you could probably go Gooey to slow it down, but because it's mostly a special attacker, like, I don't think Gooey will be activated often. Oh, Sludge Bomb. So you just probably go max. Because you have the bulk already. But you get hit with Mystical Fire. Or Muddy Water. How do we deal with Mystical Fire? Tera Water. Yeah, but like, I do think Tera Water is probably going to... We'll have to look. But what I'm talking about is that, like, Mystical Fire is going to drop its special attack. Tearful Look. What does Tearful Look do? That drops attack and special attack, right? Inteleon had that. Attack and special attack by 1, yeah. I mean, I think the Tearful Look is good for soloing. Like, but if you're in a group that has, like, one of these mons, like, Skuntank has Snarl, Armorogue has Light Screen, Houndoom has Snarl. Like, if you have a Snarl mon in the party, like, you really don't need Tearful Look. And I don't really like the status moves, because once the shield goes up, like, those move, like, Tearful Look is useless, you know? Where, like, Acid Spray, since it does damage and the stat drop is the secondary effect, it still will always hit. Let's take a look. We gotta make this bad boy 100. Oh, look at that flash cannon damage. 107. And then Focus Blast. Focus Blast is a 3 hit. It's a 4 hit. And so if you're next to... Oh, man, I've been looking at it with light screen up this whole time. How long have I been doing that? Probably the Skuntank. That's why Skuntank was taking those. That's why Skuntank was taking those focus blasts so well, because I still had the light screen up. Okay, well, it still only takes like 30% max. And it's a chance to 4-hit after leftovers recovery. That's still like manageable. Yeah, I still had the light screen up. Okay, let's look at Goodra without the light screen. Bring it back up to 100. Do we want to go Tera Steel though? Like, Tera Steel makes Mystical Fire like hit really hard. It doesn't really change anything else. But we kind of don't want it to use Mystical Fire. What about if we go the Tera Water? Brings up Psychic a little. And I think Tera Water is the go-to on Goodra. Like, even if you don't have a water move to benefit off of it, I think it's more of use that first and then start spamming ass. I mean, you can do that, but like, if you're working with someone, like I said, if Tearful Look is good if you're like trying to beat it by yourself, but I think that if you are playing with someone, like, just make sure they have Snarl or Light Screen, and you should be fine, as long as it doesn't like quickly boost. Like, the Clear Smog conflicts with the Acid Spray. I think Gengar's just way too frail. Like, let's put Gengar into the calc anyway. Make it level 100. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. You are taking 70 to 83% from Psychic. Like, that's what hurts Gengar, is that Psychic does a lot of damage, where with like the Skuntank, it's immune to it. So I think if you want to run something like Gengar, you would just be better off running a Skuntank. So what do I think? I think no, Gengar doesn't work. Goodra is good if you have access to Legends Arceus. I think out of these two, out of the physical attackers, Overqwil and Swirl Edge just seems a lot better. I would say go Tera Ghost. That way you just don't have to deal with the fire type moves and the Focus Blast. If it doesn't have Focus Blast, then just go Tera Steel. I think Bronzong would be good. And then we just change Levitate to Heat Proof. And like, so without any investment, like, the only bad thing is that if you are, well, no, you don't want to do a body press set. You would do Heavy Slam, right? Bronzong, if I can type. We go Heat Proof. So you go Heavy Slam. So you'd probably want to invest a little in guaranteed 4-hit KO, 8% chance of 4-hit KO. And so you'd probably do 162. Yeah. And so like Heavy Slam at that point would be doing 300 damage a piece. So that's not too bad. What if you Terrasilize? Yeah, if you Terrasilize, like, Focus Blast kind of sucks. But everything else is manageable. So what else can... Does it get Curse? No, it doesn't. Gyro Ball. How much does Gyro Ball do? Gyro Ball is not worth it. What if you go 0 speed? Yeah, Gyro Ball is not worth it. Well, you get screens, right? You do get Light Screen. So if you're doing Bronzong, you definitely want Light Screen. And like Heavy Slam is just like the weight difference. It's not like you don't need defense boost to that. I don't think you really need Trick Room. You don't want to do Gravity because that makes Focus Blast. You could go Confuse Ray. but once the shields are up, that's useless. Bulldoze to slow it down. Doesn't prison work? Doesn't prison work on Tera raids? Yeah, I don't like that in its best steel move. Like you can only use it like every other turn. So I think at least with Bronzong, like you can set up screens, you can slow it down, and then like you can start doing consistent damage. Leftovers would definitely be the item for this because its HP is so high. But Bulldoze, Light Screen, and you could do Rain Dance. I would have to say either Rain Dance to help out like the mons that do want to tear steel, well, and that helps you out too. Yeah, Rain Dance. You would need a setup mon. Like you would need a setup mon, but like this gets screens, slows it down, and does consistent damage, and sets up rain. So if you want to use Bronzong, I would say something like this. What is it? 92, 96. And this isn't even with a nature. So if you go adamant, this is good, but I want to say like the Bulldoze is good. And then what did we say? The Rain Dance is good. But I feel like Armorogue has more team synergy than Bronzong. I definitely think you could bring them together, but you still need a mon that's gonna do like high damage. So like if you do have the Bronzong, like you can pair it with the Sorrel Edge, running the Swords Dance. And because like you're not between those two, like you're not using Acid Spray, so like Clear Smog is like fine to use. But I think I'm gonna tweak my Houndoom. Here's the game plan. I'm gonna tweak the Houndoom. I'm going to give it probably Psychic Fangs and Tera Blast and make it Tera Steel. I might tweak the Sorrel Edge I have. I might just breed another one. It just depends on what time we have for this and that. And I kind of want to build a Skuntank. And a Goodra. I feel like the Goodra's good. What's the item? I would say Shell Bell or Leftovers, but we need to do something about the special attack drops. Garchomp, Baxcalibur, Clear Amulet. Clear? Right? Because you have recovery through Life Dew. Yeah. Porgy Blast. Yeah, Clear Amulet. That being said, you could go Blissey. I don't know about Echo Voice because you're going to be healing, so you're not going to be able to use it consistently, and that's it. I would just say Thunderbolt for the chance to para. 714 divided by 16. You're getting 44 every single time. And like, I honestly don't even think you need that much. Let's do 700 divided by 16. Okay, so 702 divided by 16. 704 divided by 16. 44. Okay, so if you ever need to figure out what 16 times 44 is, it's 704. So we could do 704. And that way we'd be getting 44 back in recovery every single time. Let's just go to the bump. That's the first bump, 56. Okay, 56. This is bugging me. So at most you're with lefties. So your only attacking moves would be Brick Break and Thunderbolt. Okay, so I feel like this is stupid. If you get the light screen up. If you get the light screen up, you're taking like no damage whatsoever. You also have to deal with like Mystical Fire dropping your special attack, which isn't good to begin with. I don't think the Chansey is good. Yeah, you could do Arcanine. So I have an Arcanine and like in my box that is basically just like this, but Arcanine instead of Houndoom. So you could use Arcanine and you can do like the same thing. Maybe like Terra Blast, Terra Steel. If it doesn't have screens though, like there's no point in Psychic Fangs. So mine was originally Dark Pulse and then I think it was Mudshot. Mudshot is useless. I never click it. So I have no problem changing this on my Houndoom that I already have built. That's why I'm saying this, because I already have it built. Like my Houndoom that I already have built, I can either go Psychic Fangs if it has screens. If it doesn't have screens, I just go Terra Blast. And then like, so I don't have to, that's less I have to tweak. Flippo, what's up? But I think I'm gonna tweak my Houndoom. I might tweak my Ceruledge or build a new Ceruledge. I kind of like the Armor Rogue and the Goodra. I kind of want to build a Skuntank. Because how often does Skuntank get love, though? But like 5 months for one 7-star Terra Raid is kind of ridiculous. Like my goal is to have other people build these as well. So if someone's going Ceruledge, like someone said they're building a Ceruledge, someone said like 2 people are building a Goodra, someone's building a Bronzong, then I feel like Skuntank definitely has room for love. Houndoom, yeah. So I already have the Houndoom. That's the reason why like I'm prioritizing this, because the Houndoom would be the least amount of effort for me. I don't know. Yeah, Houndoom, Ceruledge, Skuntank, and then Goodra. Just as long as someone in the group has light screen. Like Midas, just please make sure your Bronzong has light screen. Just do this set and ride with us, you know the usual. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this up eventually, and I think that's where we'll go next. I think I'm going to pop open Scarlet and Violet and make some mons for this raid.